talking about some things also with your academy. Like I know that you guys do some class work and is it online schooling? Just I guess a bit of how important that side of I guess some advice, but also how important that side is to these hockey players and athletes.
Yeah, I mean, like for us, I mean, it's we're definitely breaking through. The traditional model is just like a job in 9 to 5. Traditional model is your brick and mortar. Going to school by 7:45, and you get out by 2:30, and maybe extracurriculars. Hockey, lacrosse, whatever it is after school's done. So for us, I just saw like certainly who knew that COVID was going to hit, but the flexibility that the kids have forms independence. And I also believe the accountability, that goes into play. So I saw an opportunity to where, I was approached by a friend, and Odysseyware is the platform that we use. It's an online curriculum. It's NCAA approved. Great support staff. You're working with, certified teachers that are obviously through an online portal. So, with this, when you in a world where, we're in New England and Connecticut, especially, there's prep schools, all around you. And I worked at Choate Rosemary Hall for 4 years, and I really appreciate my time there. Working with Pat Dennehy and Mike Velez, and it's a great model. But I saw an opportunity where if guys want to come in and they really want to focus on their craft, and be able to skate twice a day, to be able to train, with great trainers. Outreach programs to community service projects, give back to the community and so forth. There's flexible. I got some great teachers, some great advice around us. And obviously when you're building a program, exposure, NCAA and junior and prep school and so forth. So we built this model based on hiring, 2 academic coaches that are with the kids. It's Monday through Friday. They're on the ice, twice a day. They train 4 times a week. They have tutors that come in and work with the kids. We have outreach programs like we did rake leaving, like a rake leaving with the veterans on Veterans Day, which was like amazing. Just some of the stories and how grateful they were of just young kids giving back in the community. And then, the kids, for that matter, they like the fact that they can take time, as I mentioned before, that process. They can take time on working on their craft. And you put in so many hours yourself. And it's definitely a rat race, but you really need to find your staples in your game. But you're only allowed to do that with the amount of reps and opportunities and hours that you can put into it. So the online curriculum is great. They can take it anywhere on the road. We have study hall when obviously we went to Toronto last year, and set up study hall hours. But you can take your school with you, which is great. So for us, our Monday through Friday schedule is tight. It's buttoned up, and they get the skate, they get the lift. There's academic support that's all around them every day. And, it's NCAA approved. So when they get to be a junior, senior, they are taking the SAT, the ACTs, having test prep for that. We work with them as well, too, of applying to colleges. And then, like anything, you deal with your student athlete. If, are you ready to go play college hockey yet? Do you want to play junior hockey? Do you want to go look to do a PG year, at a prep school? As there's many different paths that kids can take. So just our academy allows, kids the flexibility, allows them, the accountability to do their work diligently, with academic support, and allows them to put, the hours into their craft so they can get better and train and stronger and so forth. But it's really been a game changer to kids, that have gone through our program. And, it's been exciting, as we talked about before, to really see kids grow from boys to men, not only athletically, but definitely academically and certainly personally as well too. You really create strong relationships with these kids, outside of hockey too.
Yeah. Within your program, how many teams do you have?
We have 8.
8. Yeah. So with those 8, is it, when they're in their classes with those teachers, is it per team, or are they all sometimes in with two different teams? How do you?
Yeah, it's a good question. When you're dealing with people's academics, especially kids, younger kids, they need to have that real social aspect. I'm not saying that older kids don't, but they're just more focused. They're lasered in on hockey and certainly diligent about just getting school done and good marks and applying to school. So for us, the model we chose is to deal with kids at 18U and 16U. And then we have some hybrid 15U guys that obviously that want to take part in our program. But it's mainly 18U and 16U, players that come in here that either bill it with us, obviously they're going to school every day and training and playing a full season schedule with us too.
Is there any stories and mentors that you could share? Um, I guess as you're coming up through the hockey journey as a player, and then even into your early coaching days, and still to this day.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one. I'm a big process guy, so like for me, like I was, I never made national camps. So I was, was close, but no cigar kid. Pat in the back, work harder tomorrow, type of thing. And I just like I pushed through, with my opportunities and worked really hard at it. I was a bigger sized guy. I always need to work on my footwork and so forth. And I started getting college attention, which was, really gratifying and was excited about. And you obviously getting the opportunity, get a scholarship to go play at UMass Amherst, under Tuke Cahoon and Billy Gilligan and Mark Dennehy were great hockey guys, really good mentors. But it was really cutthroat, and I was one of 12 freshmen coming into a brand new program that, was taken off, in a hurry. Tommy Polk was our big poster boy at the time, ended up playing for the Rangers. And shortly thereafter, like Johnny Quick came in and, we laid the groundwork for a program. So, I love the fact that I was able to build something, it's obviously what comes in my day to day. And the experience that I had was, obviously and I tell kids, every opportunity is like a business trip, right? Like you got to be ready for the good and you got to be ready for the bad. And you got to take the emotion out of it. And out of young kids, like they're very emotional, they take things very personal. Like, I didn't play today, or I took enough the power play and so forth. So I remember when I was getting into college, like junior was so much easier. You were top 6 guy, you were playing at the time, you had nothing really to worry about. And then you get to college, you have all these phenomenal players, and like before entering, I'm going to go play in the NHL. You got all these big dreams, and then you realize there's looking around all these unbelievable players that you're playing with, and they work so incredibly hard. They're so diligent of their day to day, and you think college, or party and so forth. Like I remember Friday and Saturday nights, and when we won hockey games, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to bed, and there's nothing going on Sunday. And it was like, well, we won our game, you have a good meal in you, you recharge and be ready for tomorrow because Monday's going to turn right around. So it was definitely a different climate, a different culture. And, it really helped prepare me, to better prepare myself as far as like your diligent day to day and being a student athlete. But as the grind started to hit, and, the line charts used to come in on every Monday, and you go from first line to the third line, and having a great game on Friday night and then shifting out in the stands on Saturday night. The mental piece, you talked about too, the mental game before, really it's hard to work through. And as young guys, like you're constantly, working to stay positive. And you hear the advice, just, get a little bit better every day. And it does sink in when you're older.